All right, start the countdown from 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mic's up.
Welcome to Discussion, and this is a show where we talk about semi-serious or serious topics. I'm your host, Quentin, and I'm here with
Jacob.
And today, well, yesterday actually was the anniversary for the Capitol breach, which was technically considered domestic terrorism.
Yep. And for the people that don't know, the
Okay, hold on, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. Keep going as you're going.
Terrorism is people within the state, are people within the country, so citizens of the country are committing acts of terrorism against the government. And terrorism is attacks against the government.
You're going to click up here, Noah. Go ahead, click on
Trump
click
did
up 3 in your live.
They didn't give anything on the internet about
That's
it.
fine. We're going to have to just roll with it for right now. I don't know what's going on with this.
Again for 24 hours, but he tweeted something out, and all of his Trump supporters went to the Capitol and started causing all this trouble.
Word, and now we're going to plug it back in.
Obviously, most people out there know, but it was just crazy. Like,
I had seen something that said it was like one of the first times we've ever actually.
There before you can get your shot on Kent now.
Capitol and do something like that. So it was definitely a huge thing in history for the United States.
yeah.
24 live viewers.
It's crazy how much it changed. Like
25.
25.
And honestly, today,
Noah, you're going to have to start switching between these until we get the board back up.
out on the news yesterday and how they're talking about it with all the people getting arrested, all the cases and stuff like that, with all the charges against government property, destruction and stuff like that. You got anything, Kent?
Trump later tweeting to.
Might have to, in all honesty,
Yes.
we may have to relaunch the TriCaster. So we may have to, during commercial break, end the stream and then pick it back up. I know it's not ideal, but we completely lost the board at this point.
But
Yeah.
who knows?
It's definitely serious too, because when we were researching it, we had seen.
Keep going, guys. You're doing great.
There was like.
Xander, I want you calling the
people
shots. I want you
with
telling
guns
them,
and one
telling them what you
voting
want.
room.
And then Noah, I
And
want
they
you
were,
clicking.
Like there were a few.
Okay, nice job on
that
mics.
were just pointing guns at them, like holding them back and stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on, we had seen a huge rise from the Black Lives Matter movement because they were upset that there wasn't met with as much violence from the police as they thought they were getting during
Yeah.
their protests.
And I think it definitely should have, but I mean,
The GoPro, and for future reference for students that watch this later on, our board just failed during our show, and we have no control. So,
but technically it's still like the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think for like Black Lives Matter, I guess you can understand how they would be mad because some of them.
yeah, board's back. Go ahead and try it. Try in your cube. Bring
Peacefully
something
protest.
up. Try to bring up 3 or 1 on your board.
Because of Capitol breach.
Right. I had seen it was mostly like towards the end of the day that
Pop
the
up your
election started to get more violent. So like the people that were peacefully protesting would go home and be done, and then the violent protesters would come in, and then that's where it was a big issue.
Yeah. And half these demonstrators like that were there were around the nation considered white supremacists that were trying to take over. So that was another big thing too, that they're now categorized as like white supremacists, the Trump supporters.
Welcome to
Right.
AVP, audio visual.
Got it. Okay. All right. We're back. Cool. 29 live viewers.
The attack in Paris, which happened.
25 was what we were going for. I don't think we've ever breached 25.
Sorry, November 13th on a Friday, and that's when it first started. And it happened for a full day. It went on suicide bombers and gunmen riding around in cars, pulling up to night spots and killing people, and there was just mass casualties everywhere.
Yes, dude.
Smooth all week.
I remember we were going over that.
Remember when you're live?
It said that there was 162 people killed in this past thing, and that there were 20 people that were committing the act of terrorism.
Yes.
Every
And
live production.
It's such a like
Kent,
to think of that in one.
what I
day.
want is the next part of this topic, you should talk about the fact that since you guys have been born, you have never been out of the war on terror. Like, the war on terror has always been going on since you guys have been around. So I think that might be a good talking point.
probably shows that crowd and whatnot.
Camera 3, you're live.
But the amount of casualties, like, just to think about that, I mean, like, that many years
And I
ago,
think, Kent, that might be a good way to close out this topic.
looking it up and finding out about it was like, that's crazy. That's the only recent one that happened.
Right.
And then plus everything that's happened throughout our entire since we were born. We've never had any
Too much headroom on there, camera 4. Can you tilt down a little bit?
just being a little.
That's fine. You can show that in the shot. That's fine.
Because we've always had this problem, like of just. We always had the problem of terrorism throughout our entire lives.
just commented on
That's bad. We haven't really had the freeness, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
on, being able to just walk through and like. My history teacher was talking about this the other day. He was
texted
saying
me yesterday and told me he was gonna watch.
he used to be able to just like walk onto a plane, bag.
Yeah, just remember, so for Popcorn Gallery, when we had that graphic up, because we have the sound effect and everything, those have fake mics and everything out. So no music, no mics, just play the Popcorn Gallery on DVR.
Of security, which is understandable, but
Yeah. I mean, I think it should have been like that.
Camera 3.
Like 9/11,
yeah.
and I guess it just teaches us a lesson that as a country, we need to be more prepared for anything that could happen.
Yeah, I feel like
32.
maybe at the time we felt like we were powerful enough to where
Camera
like,
1.
no one would really mess with us. But some people will literally go out of their way to mess with the powerful people to just knock them down a few pegs. And I believe that's what happened with that
Down
whole
to
idea that
everything.
happened. So that we definitely sense that
You're going.
our security and the world's security on like going onto flights and stuff has basically tripled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't been on any flights,
Camera 3.
especially seeing them now. Like, I think as the years go by, there's like more and more and more security, and more like metal detectors and more baggage checking.
Up with the commander.
Now people are still, I don't know how, somehow still
Up with stuff recently.
bring stuff on to planes and cause damage still.
Well, on a little more lighthearted note, we're gonna switch to.
Camera 4.
You gotta take that graphic, guys. So we're gonna pull that up now. Go ahead, Otto.
Spoiler alert for anyone
Yeah.
at home. Did you have the chance to watch the movie?
I did not know.
Dang.
The
Not
other
yet.
day, I was home helping my dad out because he
Camera 1.
dad did a bad knee right now. My mom was in Jamestown for my little sister, so I didn't have the time at all. I really tried to too because I knew you guys were like you didn't really want to spoil much, but
Yeah.
it's whatever.
We tried going around it as best as possible.
It's been a little hard, but
Yeah. Do you care if we?
Camera 3. Not really. No, I feel like if I know some context about the movie, because I'm kind of
Camera 1.
I just don't pay attention sometimes. So I feel like if I have some context in the movie, it might help out a little more. So I don't really mind.
All right. Well, start us off.
all right. Well, I guess the first thing we're gonna talk about is gonna bring back the original actors for the villains.
Yes, all of them. I was kind of surprised to see, I forget his name, the lizard guy. Like,
Dr. Connors.
yes, I was surprised to see him, and honestly, I never thought like he would show up, especially
Yeah.
him. And then
Just click once
Doc
on it.
Ock show up on the bridge. I was like, okay, maybe it might be him. That's just it. But then you had Sandman was there too.
And even so, even if it did, I don't
Electro was there too. And then I was like, okay, they have the whole
I think you guys are doing a great job with everything.
Spider-Man fighting all of them, and then you know what happened next.
Yeah, the whole scene with. I think probably one of the funniest scenes was Toby and.
What just happened just there? Imagine stuff like that happening every single broadcast. Because before we got all this new equipment and everything, we would have just the TriCaster
They're
right
all
now.
in the lab together.
Never had the new audio board. We didn't have
He
VAs.
was the only one who could shoot like
Any
actually.
of that. And so it was like stuff like that would happen every single broadcast.
It was kind of cool, but
It was cool, but it was.
Why come up with
yeah,
solutions?
it was definitely a learning moment for both Andrew and Tom Holland.
So our board just randomly started working.
Like, I promise.
Four.
And you promise not to be best friends anymore.
Yeah.
All of their
All of their best
previous
friends.
best friends, yeah. Not to mention, the movie brought in, I believe it was $610 million altogether so far. And then just recently, this Sunday, on the it has 1 billion altogether for just No Way Home, and I was like, that's crazy.
So that was the amount of people paying to watch them.
Yeah, altogether, like the profit was 1 billion this Sunday.
Yeah, well,
That's insane.
they broke the viewing globally, like in 24 hours. Like,
Oh yeah, it was in 24 hours.
in 24
too.
hours.
I'll fix it with these ones.
Globally.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane.
I think
I forgot to put up.
they're
That's fine.
globally
You can just pull up randomly right now. Pull up the.
the most views.
It might be good to refresh.
Money, I believe it was 260 something million that they brought in just for opening night, and then after that it was the most famous movie all of December, just December.
You can kind of expect that too.
Or-
especially since TikTok is
One.
a huge new kind of like media outlet or like news outlet or whatever you want to call it, because you get a lot of information from there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff on TikTok about the movie.
Yeah.
I kind of like how, like in all the Spider-Man movies that have.
I hope the seniors get as much as they're
The
gonna
first one being I know. The second one Far From Home. The third one No Way Home. It kind of always incorporates that there's home.
Yeah, and not to mention, you mentioned the TikTok, there was 4.5 million mentions from just social media platforms about the movie. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the people who didn't get to watch the movie with the 4.5 million and got all that spoiled. Just, that sucks. It was a great movie, great time watching it.
Very good movie. What did you think about the end
You guys
credits?
have ever worked? You,
I watched one of them. I wish I stayed for the second one.
I think for the election special we got like 25.
The one where
That was a big. Well, no.
I'll just say
Technically, senior film festival we had like 60, but because that wasn't like it wasn't.
and he like left, and then there was just
I don't really count that, but for studio production, this is the most we've ever had.
yeah. I started going crazy.
See, I don't know if you've actually watched the second one yet.
No,
No?
I haven't.
Do you want me to?
I don't. Yeah, I kind of wanted to.
The second end scene is the new Doctor Strange movie.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh,
You're gonna do the Q&A, yeah. Probably what we'll do is
I
during
can't wait. I can't wait to see the trailer.
a screening, I'll have you stay all day, so that way you can kind of interview.
Incorporate old Marvel movies into the
Yeah.
Doctor Strange trailer, but to think that there's gonna be another Doctor Strange movie, I never thought there would. To be honest, I thought he was just gonna play a part in different
In the
sci-fi.
bigger
It was kind of like
My suggestion is gonna be
that we should go in there.
start working our way towards wrapping this up, this segment.
Decide to make a movie with it. I think that was a good idea too, especially because I know a lot of people like Doctor
On your
Strange.
life.
Basically, like a completely different side of Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Nope. No.
I mean, I guess you can kind of understand that there's gonna
Top
be
part,
something how big of a role he played in Infinity War and in Endgame, bringing everybody back and him being brought back. So
Right. Yeah.
Nervous there, Malachi.
sorry. Who else? I'm trying to. Oh, the villains. When he was trying to. All right, I'm sorry. This is another big spoiler. But when Doctor Strange was finally closing in the time loop, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, glimpse of villains in there. Honestly, I didn't think he was gonna pull it off and close it, and I honestly thought one of them
That
was
makes
gonna-
sense.
I don't know, some big war was gonna happen. But I guess it would kind of be cool if they came out with more Spider-Man movies and then
Yeah, I know.
incorporated
It might let me do it when we go back.
old villains into the new ones, since there's a multiverse. Since the idea is already out now,
Yeah.
which would be cool.
See, with them back to the end.
When I used to work for the live streaming company I used to work for, because we're international, we would sometimes have a 45-second to a minute delay.
So much brings up more opportunities for them.
Have you seen Let There Be Carnage? Ben? Yeah, the end scene of that, and I saw that after the Spider-Man movie. I was like, this is gonna be cool to see possibly Venom and Spider-Man fight it out, or who knows, save the day together.
Yeah.
Have you
Right.
seen Let There Be Carnage?
I have not. No.
Oh,
I
man, bro, you really like it.
I don't.
You're falling behind.
I don't watch. I don't watch many movies actually. I normally just like. I normally just sit at home and either help out around the house or play a game. I don't really have time for a movie. There's always so much going on in my house.
Wrap up this segment, guys.
Well, I wish
We're taking us into commercial.
more time to talk about Spider-Man today, and I thank you for joining us, but we are going to go to commercial break.
You build.
Welcome to.
All right, go ahead and swap, guys. About 2 minutes. Dr. Kevin Watkins.
Every day starts the same with our daily check-in with Mr.
Yep, correct. Nice job, everybody. Nice job. Things are going fantastic.
Projects aren't hard. Most of the time he gives us projects on stuff we learned so we understand the material. And get familiar with it. It's super high quality. Same with our broadcast equipment.
How do you think it's going?
I just remember we did really well my family.
Yeah, I think we improvised really well. What happened?
The board straight up.
The switchboard right at the beginning of the show.
You pull up the string so you get one piece of sound. Yeah, I got you.
It's a little stressful.
I didn't realize that we're not actually recording, but that's fine because we can just take the feed from the stream.
Everyone in this class is so different, but with
8 live viewers currently.
we get along and branch out. And we do things we never thought we'd do.
You are always excited for the next project and the next broadcast.
Yeah, our peak so far was 33.
Jeez.
Had a good number so far.
Cinematography and all that.
You guys have definitely earned your donuts.
I just really felt like I would.
Those are great.
What class are they in?
Will's in
From
welding.
I was gonna say I know welding is watching because their teacher stopped by and asked how long the broadcast would be.
and then,
I'm gonna vote.
I really like it. It's great.
I would like to accomplish being able to
Yeah, it depends on what they're doing. Sometimes they're
podcast and
up. So if you really think about it, we definitely have more than
cuts or
30 viewers like in total because we probably have 2 classrooms watching. That could be another 30 viewers. So we could realistically have about 60 people watching right now.
Engaging. So much fun.
Okay. Yep. And music, please. Little lower. That's good. Everything's good. Okay, we're gonna be coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Welcome back to Up for Debate, Up for Discussion. I'm Allie, along with Xander and Cruz, and we're going to be talking about the state of COVID.
Go ahead and give us
Camera 4. Xander.
State of emergency.
I mean, not Xander, Cruz, my bad.
Administrative measure approved by Congress early in 2020 had allowed the government to impose nighttime curfews and forced quarantines on hard-hit
Music out.
amid the worst of the outbreak.
You're smooth, guys.
Yeah, and that's crazy what like COVID has done with
Nice job, Cruz.
Camera 1, you're live.
quarantines and you know what I mean. Like I remember when school first started and it was like school was only done for the rest of the week and then it was the rest of next week and then it was like we're done for the whole year and it was just like it all just happened so fast and just went uphill so fast. It was crazy what happened.
Yeah,
Can you
it
double check your
skyrocketed
focus?
So fast. Like, it was only...
Camera 3, you're live.
And then you're like, let's be safe, let's shut down. But still, even with the shutdown, we, had so many numbers uprise so quickly.
Yeah, and like with that, it's like the whole mask.
Camera 1, you're live.
Everyone whining about that. It's like that was the only way to like keep us safe when it
Yeah.
was going up so crazy like that. Because I mean, it really did. It skyrocketed so quick, and now it's
First you
still
try to murder me,
like
but going up
number one headline it's ever seen.
Anybody can record that.
And it's still affecting us, even though it was like over a year.
Might have been on the GoPro.
Oh yeah, I hope so. It's just, it's insane what it's done.
Yeah, for sure. And with our mask mandate...
Let go.
Camera
I
3,
know
back to
that
you.
A lot of cases of uprise, like, again, like, we're peaking again, but I feel like the masks have definitely helped, at least a little bit, because, yeah, we have a lot of
Everyone in live production.
a lot of people that either get, like, the flu or a cough, or, like,
think that
sniffles
commercial
or
is
something
fine.
like that in the season.
Yeah, I don't like this mask mandate. Holko told
Camera
us
4, back to you.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it would end. But no, we gotta go with the flow, man.
Yep.
And there's a shortage on vaccinations.
That is true, but that's also a good thing because that means more people are trying to get vaccinated and more people
Back to you,
want
camera
to
one.
get vaccinated. But that's also a bummer because the people that want to get vaccinated and can't because of the shortage are missing out because of that shortage.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a
guess
good
what?
and bad thing.
One guy got a
Back to you,
blood
camera
clot
four.
from the vaccination. One had a swollen tongue, and one of my mom's friends had died from a vaccination. So they haven't tested it out yet. My mom doesn't want me to get it until it's safe.
Yeah, for sure. And I
Yeah.
think they're still testing the vaccinations.
On you, camera three.
Definitely has impacted people in a lot of different ways. It's given a lot of people different side effects or different symptoms of the virus, and then some people it doesn't give them anything at all.
Right. Yeah, and that's just like the same thing with COVID.
Live camera one.
Some people it hits them hard and they're knocked out. They're put in bed. Some are put on ventilators because they can't breathe, and then some people just it's like a normal day. They're just feeling it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it varies and how it affects all different people and what it does to different people.
Yeah, and it really comes down to like your past health conditions also, and like what you have going on like internally that maybe you don't even know about.
On you, camera
That
three.
really affects you with the illness.
Yeah.
Do you got another fact, Cruz?
Yeah. A study
Camera four, you're live.
Welding is
COVID-19 patients
Not by
had
earlier.
multiple or single CVDRFs.
Yeah, and with that, like only it's one
Back
in
on you,
5
camera three.
times-
Hitting those numbers.
That's just insane. The way
Yeah.
that
They definitely are
escalates so much that like
On you,
that's-
camera one.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, first it started with like a lot of like different countries not in the United States.
Why am I pressing on?
and then it just skyrocketed.
That's fine.
So it's crazy how it can spread when we barely have any contact with each other.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you guys feel when COVID-19 ended?
Are you camera four?
2 years ago.
I hated it honestly.
Man, I didn't like it.
It sucked because it was like
Back to you, camera one.
it was like the year was almost over. We were starting to get into the fun stuff, and it was like just like bam, like that, we were done. And then we ended up going back to school, and we only went back to school for 2 days out of the whole week, and it was like I liked being at home, but it wasn't doing me any good because I wouldn't focus. I would, like my room's my space where I chill, play video games, and it's like trying to learn in that
What?
environment. Definitely, like, helped
The
me
microphone. I'm waiting because once he's done talking, I want to give him
play
directions.
video games instead.
Definitely, and like sitting at home, like
Okay,
that's not
Xander,
the safe space.
one thing that I want you to talk about is we don't yet know the long-term effect of having COVID. We don't know what that could do in 5 to 10 years. So maybe make that another talking point.
When you're doing schoolwork, it's definitely hard to focus.
Nod your head if you understand.
People who work with hands-on learning.
Yeah, 100%. And I definitely am more of a hands-on person. I definitely learn and
Back to you, camera one.
inside the classroom and stuff like that. So definitely being at home and trying to learn at home definitely did not help.
Yeah, and I feel like this school year, now that everyone's back,
Camera three, back on you.
it's definitely
So
easier.
Xander, we don't yet know the effects of long-term COVID, having COVID for a long time.
Definitely easier to keep your
So we
grades
don't
up.
know what will happen to people in 5 to 10 years after they've contracted COVID. Do you understand?
And numbers have skyrocketed. Like, or
On you, camera one.
grades have skyrocketed
Yeah.
and went up ever since coming back full time. I
Yeah.
know I read something on a study that when kids
He's
were
got an
over
earpiece in.
school half a week or whatnot, grades were down low. I know mine were 100%. And just this year, it's just crazy how fast. it's gone
That's
up,
Cruz.
how much better.
Cruz, can you hear me? Yeah, thank you, Cruz.
Yeah, according to the news report, research concluded
Xander, you
COVID-19
can't hear me?
Oh, he can hear you. COVID-19
His comm might have died.
associated with aggravation of pre-existing disease during that
Tell me to
period
check
of
to see if it's
time.
fine.
And I wish COVID-19 was gone.
I'm going to run out there.
It definitely
Stay
does
on 4.
affect a lot of things and
Stay on either 4 or 3.
definitely affects
Okay?
how it worse and whatnot.
Yeah, and with like the virus mutating and like having
On you, camera three.
like,
Camera one right now, we cannot go on you because we need Xander's.
Omicron, but it was only one case, and now in the United States, that's 95% of our cases is Omicron.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that how fast it's gone up when it's just like regular when COVID started, it was very little, but now we're up all the way.
And it's crazy what COVID has done, what it is continuing to do, and what it will continue to do in the future. Because as much as I want it to, I don't think it'll go away anytime soon.
No.
I think it's going to be around for a while, and I think
Yeah.
it's going to stay like that. And even with the vaccinations, like it's 110% helping, but it's definitely still going to be around and it's still going to be a thing
Yeah,
for a while.
sure. And with the vaccinations, like we have a lot of people vaccinated, a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated, but with the shortage, it's tough for people to get the resources that they need. And they've definitely helped, because a lot of people, it's helped with like internal illnesses when they get COVID. So.
And with that being said, we'll get back with you after this commercial break.
There's so much that goes into being a chef, more than just cooking and producing. It's about everything that happens in the kitchen, from start to finish, from cleanup to end, to customers, to the products that you work with. So there isn't one specific answer.
Bruce, if you can hear me, you're doing a great job, buddy. Just
But it really depends.
gotta remember not to talk over anybody on this one.
where
All right,
you are,
buddy?
what you're doing.
We got it.
and
You got it.
the area that you're in. I love working here. They've, as you can see, they redid the dining room for me, so it has a restaurant feel. I've always been in the restaurant business my whole life, and I love working in the industry.
Or
3, 2, 1.
go ahead. Hey, you guys are live. Live.
Hey everyone, I'm Ken, and once again with Cruz and
Or
Xander.
move to Cruz.
This time we'll be moving on to another pretty serious and very
Camera 4, move to
personal
Cruz.
subject of mental health.
Thank you.
Pretty bad lately, especially with the whole COVID thing that you guys just talked about, and the quarantines, leaving many people at a really.
I'm going to have you add a graphic here in just a second.
100%. I definitely think COVID has affected some people. And
One way or
it's
another.
affected everyone in different ways, with being quarantined and pulled away from family and pulled away from your job and pulled away from your friends and whatnot. But it definitely has
Are you ready?
brought out and brought
Make
more
a full screen graphic,
mental
please.
health and people
Same
need to
style
get
as
help.
spoilers.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mental health comes in many different forms.
Be back to you.
Yep.
I know some problems, guys.
Live camera
is
top
the
line.
disease, premenstrual
National
periodic
Alliance.
dysphoric disorder, PDD, and other mental disorders, guys.
Base.
And yeah,
On mental
all
health.
sorts of mental
On your live.
health and whatnot. So it's crazy what it's come to, but it's also good that it's being known now because
Okay,
more
text
people
2.
can get help and more people can reach out.
I have to shrink that, but that's fine. It's 1-800
At a
Are
very
you?
serious disadvantage,
950.
considered by the vast majority of
6264.
populace or many medical professionals that it was a real issue.
And text 3, let's just put, if you're struggling with mental health, reach out.
Until fairly recently, actually, there wasn't really any studies into mental health, and now that, especially with the current state, there's even more so, along with the quarantines and stuff. Although it has a really rough time for many people, it is also a really advantageous time because now people are noticing these problems and are working towards improving people's lives who have these problems.
Guys,
So you gotta make those smaller. So up at the top, you see where it says 39.
You know,
See where it says 39 up here at the top. Grab that.
reduce alcohol intake, exercise,
Going.
balance diet, and engage in the chance of others of their lifestyle to
Good.
facilitate wellness.
Fine for now.
Yeah, and I think
We don't have time to
I think
play all
alcohol
that.
definitely
Camera 1 on you.
plays a role on people
I'm sure.
that try to use it as an escape.
Yeah.
And like,
alcohol-
Yep, go ahead, close.
especially alcohol and drugs.
Gonna bring that up here in about 2
are going
seconds.
through a rough time and go to
5 seconds. 5,
I don't know,
4,
escape
3,
from
2, 1. Go ahead, bring that up.
the pain and whatnot that their mental health brings them. But it only works for a little bit, if not makes it worse, and then it all comes back. It all flows
Bring that up
back.
again before
So
we
it's
wrap,
just
okay?
temporary escape. It doesn't.
Nice job getting that up fast.
It doesn't help in the long run, in my opinion.
Yeah, for many people, like you said, it is.
Camera 3.
Although it is a very temporary solution, and it does help people who are struggling with variety of different mental health problems. they'll go to these alcohol and these drugs because they give them momentary benefit, but it's a cycle. The more you take it, the worse you're going to feel afterwards because you're always going to want that relief more and more, and it causes many people to be very addicted. That's why people who struggle with mental health many times are more susceptible to addiction than people who do not struggle as severely with mental health.
Yeah, I agree. You got anything, Cruz?
Yeah, man. A recent study from Catalyst showed
Malachi, can you tilt up a little bit, please?
Yeah. Groups, 58%
Bedrooms.
There's
There's good, thank you.
Camera 4, you are live.
Hypervigilance, according to Mina, is a symptom of PTSD. Workplace microaggressions and racism also play into emotion attacks, all of which can result in stress and burnout, which in turn impacts our immune system, guys.
Yeah, and especially like as we said with the state.
Back to you, camera 3.
Many people losing their jobs, or many job places would be much more stressful conditions as there's a lot more pressure pushed upon the workers, which has caused many more people to experience these emotions. And
You get a word in after this, okay?
Also the job, especially with small businesses.
Nod your head if you understand.
Thank you.
Some people don't even know if their livelihood is very stable.
I just want to balance, that's all.
With mental health
Right.
in general.
And I do think the COVID and
Camera 1, back to you.
adults
That's the
being
reason we went to Spider-Man.
and
I tried to talk about
away from their job or away from their family. Definitely
You guys
can
did good on
affect
the
mental
segment.
health, especially for people that are living maybe paycheck to paycheck and they're getting pulled away from their jobs and their jobs are fussing with them and giving them a hard time and they're not.
Audio sounds very good. And it's, minus that little beat just now, but
through the week definitely doesn't help with mental health.
Yeah, and even some people who
we're at 26 right now.
had
So we've been holding pretty steady the whole stream. Yeah, we usually drop off in the second half, so that's pretty notable that we're still at 20.
on in your life, which can usually arise.
Not to mention the 23 in other classrooms.
Now
So
people who didn't even have those problems growing up are now developing these
On you, camera 3. My bad.
I got my mom and dad.
later in life, and they're not very knowledgeable to deal with these mental health problems.
Send it out.
And I definitely think it plays a role for everyone, and from any age to any.
On you, camera
anything
1.
You do can play a role on mental health, whether it's you crash your car, you lose a shoe, you're late to work and you're panicking and you're stressed about it. But do you have anything?
Excuse me, guys. Hey, remember mental
On you,
asylums
camera 4.
back in the day? They were so uncomfortable for mental people, and the doctors didn't really care at all.
Yeah.
Dude only
As
tells
I
you
said
like
before,
what you hear from.
only recently mental health is actually being
Camera
established.
3, you're live.
At that time, many mental asylums were very poor conditions.
off.
They didn't consider them an actual problem that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's great that it's becoming really
On you, camera 1.
a problem and people are reaching out and getting help, and there's all these other solutions from apps on your phone to calling into a doctor and stuff like that. And I think that's a great thing that people are doing to get
And the real sad thing, though, is then there is also sadly not enough people going to seek the help that they
Yeah,
really
guys.
need.
Camera 3, you're live.
So very severe outcomes, as we said, like with addiction and whatnot. And many people don't seek that physical connection to people that really is necessary to some degree in order to get that help you need.
We're gonna try to wrap it up at 40 minutes. We're at 38 right now, so
Say, be very anxiety driven, and it will not allow them to go out of their way to make it.
probably start wrapping it up here.
But yeah, with the whole mental health thing, it's like
On you, camera 1.
anxiety. I'd say anxiety is the biggest one I've heard of, and I definitely have had points of where
It's
anxiety
fine.
has gotten back to me, stress.
It was a light peak, so it's okay.
With anything really, it's like say I get a 10 on the test, I'm worried if I'm gonna fail the class.
10:35.
You know what I mean? It's just stuff like that that really just can affect some people so much.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't even realize how
On you,
severe
camera 3.
these small problems can be, but really it's just,
Oh, we-
no matter what it is, you really gotta go and get your help, and anyone watching this, I hope you all
fantastic.
I made my friends watch those like you guys.
better in your
Remind me
life.
on Monday.
Xander, we're at 39 minutes.
As we're trying to just close out with a really trying to finish this off as more an uplifting message, please do.
Xander, are you doing the closing? Shake your head. No, you're not. Okay.
If you also are free later at 1, our seniors will be additionally doing another broadcast where they will be interviewing Dr. Bevin. Oh, Kevin? Okay. Sorry, notes. And so if you're available, please go check them out and hope you all have a wonderful day.
Let's go ahead and bring up credits. So that's going to be ER1. Gotta make sure credit music. Go ahead. Make sure that's on loop. Bring the music up more. Okay, no one move yet, just because we gotta make sure after the credits are done, we have to wait a few seconds for the stream to catch up.
It might be on auto.
That's fine. Go ahead and let's just stop. Yeah. That's fine right there. Okay. And hit end stream. Up the top, yeah. Alright.